This will be a condensed footage video in which I go over every single picture and screenshot I took of their demonic activities and explain how this is not schizophrenia and mental illness. It's not anything anyone could ever even possibly accuse me of. What you have to do is take into account the fact that I did not just walk into these stores and see these activities going on, in which I describe in my other videos, which I'll describe in this video. They happened to me and came at me almost like a wave in intensity. And what I mean when I say that is I notice patterns, and I have almost like a Sherlock Holmes OCD with investigating stuff anyways before this ever even happened. And what I started noticing is things around the store started going awry, started getting more and more strange and out of place, and I always knew that these people I describe were doing things to me to hurt me and psychologically warp me. But after a while, it became so clearly evident that I figured I might as well record it, get it on camera, and it was also a hobby of mine. At least it has been recently. And what I can show you is that this is not normal. The amount that this has happened went from, if I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, this used to happen at like a 1 or 2. And I'm talking the stuff they do in the stores, out of the stores, any single thing that they do to me. But then it quickly, or no, it slowly escalated from a 2, a 3, 4, 5, back down to like 3 or 4, and then skyrocketed up to like an 8 or a 9, and has since my recording, and since me recording all of this every day, has gone down again, back to a, went back down to a 2 in intensity, then up to a 5, and then now back down to a 1. Because I think that they fear that their psychological torturing of me, their lying, their manipulation, their tactics to do the said goals I said in the other videos, which you'll have to watch also, but watch this one first, won't work. Meaning, they won't be able to make me look schizophrenic, they won't be able to make me get amnesia, they won't be able to make me think that they're other me's, or they won't be able to make me think that they're God or my dad, they won't be able to make me want to be gay or transgender, they can't get me scared. And I can explain and prove in this video, if you bear with me, that this is not just some crazy lunatic talking to you. It is actually someone like me, who I described in my other videos, who I am. I can prove to you that this is all 100% real. Now, take a look at this video, or this, should I say this picture. This is the first video I ever took, and this guy was looking at gloves. And I knew that they were putting gloves all over the ground in strange places. Not just gloves, but one glove. And I knew it was coming from Satan, the Illuminati, the lizard people working for them. And they were trying to insinuate they're pedophiles and try and scare me. And I started investigating them psychologically more and more and more and more. Now, watch this. This guy happens to be looking at the gloves. Now, and I noticed Satan putting kid stuff everywhere. Like stuffed animals and kid stuff that wasn't supposed to be there. Stuff that I noticed going awry. Very strange and peculiar placing, and which just wouldn't happen. And what I noticed at first, I should say the first thing I noticed of them, was if I was going to buy something like an Arizona drink, they would have the drink I'm going to buy slightly placed to the side or upside down or out of the freezer. They would want whatever I was about to buy next seeming different, because they wanted me to think that I was getting it from them, because they knew I know that the devil, the Illuminati, the lizard people are real. And they wanted me to think that I was making a deal with them at the same time as they were doing a bunch of other psychological stuff to me, like stuff I'll explain later in the videos. So like I said, keep and bear with me. This may look just like a man looking at gloves and a cup placed, but the kids' cups are far away from here, and it happens to be something that Satan has done before. Now watch this. And there's still carts that they placed everywhere, and that's, again, one of those strange behaviors I started noticing doing more and more. Now, like I said, this is when the intensity was at a 1. After a while, the intensity of the stuff going on in the stores, these this demonic activities, these strange behavior, I guess you can call it at the very least, happening more and more and more. Now, I treat this like my job, investigating and reporting on these activities, and I would like you to join me in reporting on these activities going on and help me understand how in the world you would ever think that this is normal. Now, I started finding stuff like this around, like just like kid stuff, and then all of a sudden they started putting instead of trying to mismatch the food, like a couple times I was thinking about buying sour gummy worms. Then all of a sudden I found a bag of sour gummy worms outside the store that was open, like they were trying to offer me free food, and they were trying to make me think that it was like some sort of deal with the devil, and based on stuff I know about them in the past, that's exactly what they were doing. And I can prove it with further analysis that I've been doing on them psychologically throughout this process of studying them and then recording them. And keep in mind, this is about 2 months ago, and I stopped recording for a while. Now here, like I told you, I noticed they were putting gloves on the ground everywhere, and not very often would they ever wear a glove. Very rarely would I ever see them wearing a glove. All of a sudden, and I happen to know that Satan and the Illuminati wants to make people gay and trans and subvert them and make God hate them, even though God doesn't hate gay and trans people. God doesn't really hate anyone. God just gets very angry at people's ignorance and at Satan. So, now look at this girl. She happens to be wearing one glove, and I happen to know that they want to turn me into a gay, trans, black girl, and that would want to be into pup play. I can prove this with further analysis where it gets scary. Don't click off. I swear to God, this is a literal hair compared to the whole, everything that I have for you. Just a fraction of the evidence. And by the way, this was the guy that was looking at the gloves upstairs before I went down. And everyone started dyeing their hair red slowly. At first, I saw a couple people with red hair, and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of whatever." I knew it was them doing it, but I just wasn't that alarmed by it. After a while, I started noticing that everyone was dyeing their hair red. It became so obvious that I had to start recording it and making it some sort of my job to do this, investigate. Now, that's not as unnormal, but still. Then, like I said, they would put kid stuff everywhere. And this guy he's putting his carriages outside the store. He's collecting the loose carriages and putting them at the front of the store. That's normal. But why is he holding a princess in his hand that has orange hair? That is also a kid toy. Now, I asked him, I said, "Can you hold that toy up for me?" But he had it in his hand already. And like I said, don't click off. He literally had it in his hand already, and I just asked him, "Hey, can I see what toy you have?" Because I wanted it on video. And they were trying to insinuate that I was like their action figure, that I was theirs. And, that's what they're trying to insinuate. I think at that point, they were mostly just trying to insinuate that I was a girl, or gay, or trans, or that they owned me, trying to intimidate me, stuff like that. But watch this. And like I said, just more and more intimidation, where I'd see more and more people with red hair. And one of the other days, this is more when it was first happening, or first gradually intensifying when I moved to Miami. And again, it happened in Washington, D.C. and here. And there was a free coffee on the place where I usually sit, Dunkin' Donuts. And all of a sudden, there was a little girl's mask on the ground. Like I told you, they want to insinuate I'm a girl, or gay, or and stuff like that. More and more people with red hair, like I told you. Like I said, this is the video, and then I started seeing baby stuff everywhere. I'll go into that further later. I started noticing them doing strange stuff more and more, where this wasn't happening before. It's not like I just noticed all this stuff and said, "That's not normal, oh my god, yeah, they must be demons." This happened in real time, where I always study people. I always watch people's body language. I always keep a track on patterns. It's like an OCD I have. And this is basically how I started to notice the stuff in the first place and keep track of it. And that wasn't her thing. She didn't drop it. She just happened to, pick up there, which might seem normal. But like I said, the rate at which it was happening was more and more. This is when it was at like a 2 or 3, and it quickly intensified to a 7 or 8, where it was, can't deny what's going on. Things replaced around the store, people bending over, always like, he wasn't bending over a couple seconds ago. Right when I go by him, all of a sudden he bends over. And then there was a bus over there, a van that said family on it, and the next day there was a school bus there for no reason. And I always said, they want me to think that they're my family or other versions of me. Now, I know this might sound crazy, but they want to convince me that they're like God and I should listen to them and that all this other crazy stuff. Now watch this. They put this here. This is one of the first obvious things they did that you could tell was place. Now, I talked about being the one, and all of a sudden I see this. Right when I talked about it inside of my head, all of a sudden I see this placed here. Obviously placed. That's not just misplaced, that's placed. There's a difference. It's not someone putting something down and it being a coincidence, or someone getting out of the store, or someone had to, I don't know, just leave the store. This was a clear example of someone placing that there and placing that there in order for me to think I'm the one. I know it says Anna, but they wanted me to think creatively. And then I started seeing, like I said, toys laid around. As you can see, that's a green little reptilian toy. And as I'm reporting that this was going on and recording everything everywhere I go, all of a sudden there's a shirt that says, "I totally miss humans." Now, does that not seem strange to you? Imagine you're reporting on the Illuminati or the devil, whatever you would want to call them, and all of a sudden you see a shirt that says, "I totally miss humans." Would that not creep you out? Now, say you start reporting on like these weird toys and things misplaced around the store where all of a sudden you start seeing like 1 or 2 things misplaced to like a bunch of them. And then it kept getting more and more. And it was almost like your subconscious and your actual like inner monologue was being like just watch this. "I totally miss humans." It obviously says that. I don't even know a shirt that would really say that. What is there a movie that's like that? No. That's just a random shirt that says "I totally miss humans," like she made it online or something. And then they started wearing kid stuff around me. Like more and more kid stuff I started noticing. And like I told you, I notice patterns, I study body language, I know that's not normal to see 1 out of 100 people with a kid shirt on, and usually it's like a kid. And then all of a sudden, when I say kid, I mean like a cartoon or something like that. And all of a sudden, a bunch of people. And then a shirt that says serpents on it. And they knew I was recording, and they wanted to intimidate me and scare me and make me think I'm in a different world where there was no humans, basically. There was even a video where a girl told me she was Jesus and that I'm in hell. I have it on video. This guy, as you can see, is wearing 1 glove. Pretty strange, right? I mean, and believe it or not, that's not a broken thumb. That is an actual glove with just a tear in it. Things placed around the store, I started noticing more and more. Once in a while, that's normal to see something misplaced in the store. So people got to put stuff back once in a while. But it was happening more and more, and I was studying the rate at which it was happening. And there was a gradual increase, and then there was a sudden spike in this stuff going on. Random carriages placed around, and then stuff like that. I started noticing the number 2 everywhere. Meaning like 2 things misplaced because they know I like the number 2, and they got that I would get them. I would notice that more. Sorry if I messed up on the speech. And this girl is wearing knee pads. That might be normal once in a while, but especially going around, and they're trying to insinuate sex to you. I should show you all the banana pictures and all the times that people are pointing to their penises and vaginas and stuff like that. Keep watching. Just random carts misplaced. Look at that. That. And another thing was I started seeing more nurses, where I think around here there's lots of nurses, so it was like 3 out of 100 people you'd see like a nurse, or maybe even more than that. But then it like doubled around the time I was thinking about it. Imagine if your inner monologue and thoughts started coming to life. That wouldn't be normal now, would it? And then there's a specific obsession they have with wanting me to think that I ate the apple of forbidden knowledge, and it's something to do with apples, which I told you, it's again them thinking they can scare me into paralysis, make me think I made a deal with the devil. All of the above is what they're trying to do to me. Scare me, make me think I'm in a different world where there's just them. I mean, I told them as humans in a shirt that says serpents in the same store, 5 minutes apart from each other. And then this lady came here. As I started noticing these stray carts, which I used to walk around and make sure no one was around them, and make sure everyone else around the cart had another cart to make sure that the carts weren't just someone's items. I started noticing them trying to make me think that the carts were normal. So I know it doesn't fit their exact psychology, but that is what happened, and it's a strange psychology they do have. And I started noticing girls wear their shirts all differently, like trying to tuck their yoga pants in so I could see their vagina more. And this wasn't just because of the hot weather. I mean, I'm studying their body language even from last year. And they started putting items near where there'd be a 666. And especially, of course, is wine, because they want me to think that I can drink wine if I'm like their kid or their baby, which I will prove to you. They insinuate further in the video. And they started doing weird stuff where everyone around me, I always am watching them. And I watch people as a hobby anyways, like a people watcher. And then they started doing stuff where they would always be itchy or pulling up their pants around me. You should see the further evidence I have of people literally just like bending over in front of me and like touching their penis and stuff, like crazy demonic stuff. And putting food placed randomly, like stuff for me to like look at. I started noticing these gloves more and more. It would be like just one glove placed, and this is a little different. I'll get back into that. I'll get to that later. And I see these license plates as JDB, and I thought of job because I was like, wow, it's like my job to study them. It's like, and then all of a sudden I see these license plates that say JDB. So, and they were right next to each other, by the way. And then I see a license plate that says BJC, like Jesus Christ. And then right behind me, I see a car that has another license plate that says JC, and I followed it. And right behind that car where it parked, it says I, and then M. I know there's a J, Y, and 70, but blocked it out. It says I'm. And then look over here, it says Divine Savior, Jesus Christ. Block out the Q, X, 8, and then 8, and it says I'm Jesus Christ, and it was on the same day where I was saying it's my job to report on them, and I'm Jesus Christ, so it's my job to say I'm Jesus Christ. And there's a bunch of other license plates around here that say Jinn, because they're the devils. Jinn means devil. It literally translates to devil. Watch this. They are literally the... Okay, hold on. This is who's hunting me. That's the Illuminati. That's the lizard reptilian people. And they're shapeshifters, just like the Illuminati is supposedly, which they really are. Now let's look at more. That's more further in the storyline, where I told you they want me to think that they put dolls around me. They want me to think I'm like Baby Yoda. They want me to think that they're Jesus, and they want me to be like a girl, and they're always trying to do weird pedophile stuff to me. Now, hold on. Now look at this. I see a license plate. It says CSI, like crime scene investigation. It's my job to investigate them like this is a crime scene and be Jesus Christ and say I'm Jesus Christ, which I already knew I was anyways, but still. Then all of a sudden this happens? Pretty crazy, right? And this is, again, 1/1,000,000th of the evidence that I have. NCS, like NCIS. Then I started seeing weird stuff to do with, like, they want bum socks, because they try and always molest me and torture me, psychologically, subliminally lie to me and intimidate me. And I started noticing weird stuff placed around the stores, especially near cream, to insinuate sex, like that. They want me to think of like dildos and stuff. They're trying to literally manipulate me and lie to me and psychologically torture me. And again, here's their obsession with apples and drinks, because I talk about don't drink God's drinks. They want me to think they're drinking my drink, and I drink their drink. And you can read Revelations; it literally talks about whoever drinks God's drink, and just random stuff near all around the stores. And this was a random baby bib place somewhere. I started noticing more and more signs that particularly would be related to kids, girls, and dogs. Now watch this. Now here, they were praying, and all of a sudden, I went over, and there's a video. You can see I have a video of all this stuff. All this stuff I'm showing you pictures of is all on video. And I went over, I said, "Do you know Jesus?" He said, "Who?" And they were trying to make me think that the Holy Spirit was talking through them, and that they were praying, and that I was surrounded by them, the Holy Spirit, so that eventually I'll listen to their orders. Like, I have a video of a girl telling me that my orders were to pick up trash. And then she started stalking me. In fact, I saw her today. But once in a while, it's normal to run around the same people. Once in a while, at least. And she was stalking me the next day at McDonald's, where she wasn't even eating. She was just staring at me after I reported her about being a lizard reptilian person. She was watching me and not even eating. And I have it all on video. And then I saw her, and she was offering me a drink. She was offering me a real estate job. And she was just not talking right. And let's just say this, she wasn't drunk, and she wasn't on drugs. She was just acting crazy, like the stuff that Satan does anyways. Now watch this. There was this girl, and this was one of those people. I have evidence that she dyed her hair red, and before it was brown. And she was talking about some movie where the son had to reconcile with the dad, and the only way to save people was to kill all the humans or something. I have it on video. And they were trying to insinuate that I should be her, and there was even a girl. Those two people in the photo, it's not the two women. There's a guy next to that girl. You can see he's touching near her butt. And they're both wearing clothes that say MK and Boss. They both have clothes that say Boss on it, but one of them has a shirt that says MK. Because I was talking about MK Ultra, and all of a sudden they start doing this to me. And again, I see more and more signs of these JDB license plates. Some that say Jin, a lot that say JC. And this is, like I said, they're trying to make me think that they're God. And I was just talking about Stitch. And all of a sudden, that girl has a shirt that says Stitch on it. No, it says a shirt that has Stitch on it. And then the other one has a shirt that says God. And watch this. I walk away, and they got into a car, and the car next to them backed up and left, and it says Ladybug, because they want me to think I'm just like an insect, when it's more the other way around, if anything. Now, watch this. They wanted me to think that I should be a girl. We're on the same day, right near it, like a 2-minute walk, not even, like a minute walk. All of a sudden, I see this, and they're fixing a salon, and it says Omega Signs, because they know I was walking around recording everything, and they wanted me, and it even says like ET on that thing too, or something crazy. And they wanted me to think that I have to be a girl, and that it's a sign from God. And they do crazy subliminal stuff. Now watch this. Like I said, 1/millionth of the evidence I have. More gloves I started seeing, JC license plates, and then they tried to park the license plates where I would say this, B dog, because they know I was looking at the license plates. And just strange stuff in the carts, where someone leave a cart, stuffed animals everywhere. And this was really before Valentine's as much, and then around Valentine's it peaked. And girls with red hair everywhere all of a sudden. This wasn't normal before. All of a sudden it became normal. And then I told you they wanted to send subliminal messages through food and signs and the number 2. And all of a sudden I see 2 bananas. two things that say think, two eggs, and two strawberries. Like I told you, they have an obsession with the color red, making me think I ate the apple or forbidden knowledge and stuff like that. Now keep watching. And then all of a sudden I start seeing these stuffed animals everywhere, and all of them are like green, like reptilian people. Think about the 3 or 4 stuffed animals we've seen so far. They've all been green, except for like one of them. Now keep watching. Don't exit off because it was 2 that we have and 2 that weren't green and 3 that were. And like I said, they have an obsession with apples. This is where the apple juice is anyways, but then they put apple cider vinegar near it because I was taking apple cider vinegar to help my third eye and to do a body cleanse and fast and stuff like that. Now keep watching. There was a day where I was gonna fast, and then all of a sudden I needed a Mio, like the sports drink, and all of a sudden the banana aisle was completely clear, like a smaller banana aisle. And there was one banana and one Mio drink I was just about to buy because they wanted me to think that if I buy it, I have to be gay or that I'll be in debt to them. They're completely crazy people. Just strange behavior they were doing. I mean, this might be normal once in a while, but she was walking through the store for a while, and this is all she bought. Was it like a couple M&Ms? That just seems strange to me. And then they wanted me to think that they were ET, so they put Barbie and ET slightly differently. And Paw Patrol, they put the Paw Patrol dog right next to a bunch of the girl aisle, basically. You should see further video where they replaced a bunch of guy shirts with girl shirts, and it proves that the clerks are even working with these people too. And they're all together. Girls with red hair, that's not as normal. They started seeing this more and more. And she has like strawberry halls and like a light because they're talking about like subliminally. Let me think she's the light. I can be the light of the world if I become a girl. Crazy, crazy stuff like that. I mean, she even looks kind of like an alien, right? And then girls just touching their butts, and that was for longer than a couple seconds, you know. Think about that. She's just holding her hand there. I have a limp because of a motorcycle accident. I'm walking slower than you think. And I started noticing stuff like this, where, like I told you, right when I walked by, she immediately put her hand on her kid, almost as if, like, she's telling me she owns me. And that's one of them. To make me feel owned or small, and then a girl with red hair walks by. And the girl's just touching right near their vaginas, like staring at me, basically. To make me sin, to traumatize me, to psychologically torture me, to intimidate me. There's so many reasons why they do this. I shouldn't have to reiterate. And then she was just like touching her butt, if you can see clearly there. And then they'll also do weird stuff where I'll walk near them and they'll like look the other way because they want to induce that feeling of confusion on me. It's some weird, strange tactic that have yet to work. And again, a couple days later, they did the same thing with the ET. And stuff like this, where I'll get out of the bath and all of a sudden there'll be someone standing there like that. Crazy, crazy stuff. Just random carts laying around everywhere. One gloves. He has another glove on. But you should see a bunch of people that only have one glove, and then all of a sudden, once the coronavirus ended, and I started reporting on the one glove thing, and they knew that one glove would look, they might get caught, and people would realize that they're, the Illuminati and lizard reptilian people just blending in. They started making it so the clerks at all these stores have 2 gloves, so it looked normal. And it wasn't like this. Even at Burger King, they didn't have gloves on like a month ago, believe it or not, around here. And same with Walmart. Things placed randomly. The gloves, they do have gloves like that in that aisle, but not anywhere near there. They put it right where they know I would see it to intimidate me and scare me. And see how she's holding that, almost like a drink and a doll or action figure at the same time? See how long it takes to walk from there to there. Believe it or not, that takes a good 10 seconds, 20 seconds for me. If you were going to buy something like a drink, imagine you had like an energy drink or a soda or anything, and would you grab it like that for 10 seconds, 20 seconds? And as you can see, it's almost like they were trying to make me think that she's Jesus and that she has me, or that they're in control of me. Crazy, crazy stuff, right? Like a cross. That's why they were standing there. And I started seeing, I told you, they want to insinuate I'm gay or trans or anything like that. There's bananas and a bra and what might be more, I think that's, might be girls' clothes still, but a bra and bananas next to an older man. Doing weird stuff where they'll just look at me and just grab their vaginas and stuff like that, penises, whatever. And they're always itchy around me, supposedly. They started putting people with beards around me that would have, like, a girl next to them, or, especially that one, red hair. Everyone dyeing their hair red and putting gingers around me. You know, people with red hair. Random carts, always. Girls with red hair. Random carts. Stuff like that. Now, look at that. Just random stuff, because they want me to think that I'm their pet monkey. Scary, scary stuff, and insinuate I'm a dog. You should see what happens later in the video. More carts rearranged, and then I went to the store after recording for a day or two. This is only a couple days of recording, believe it or not. This all happened. This is the 45th video, and a bunch of the videos were just me, like, recording and talking about psychology and politics and stuff. Believe it or not, after I started recording, this is the 45th video, or I think if you count it fully, the 51st video, or no, yeah, 55th video, or whatever, and it took about 2 or 3 days, no more than a week to get all this evidence. Action figures everywhere, and I got way, way more evidence. That's just, you should have seen, she was really bent over, touching your vagina, and, like, even that, like, it looks like a flower, but they want me to think a penis. And there's orange hair. This was, see, look at that. Like, that's not normal. Why would you ever go to the edge of your cart and just touch near your vagina and bend over like that? More loose carts, and then more girls with red hair. Everyone started dyeing their hair red, even when it was just slightly red. This one's more kind of normal, but it was, again, like lipstick. And girls with red hair everywhere. Loose carts, girls with red hair. Now look at this. Dogs, bananas, and kids. They always try and insinuate that stuff. Girls with red hair everywhere. Now this is one that starts to get way more intense. Now this, believe it or not, is still the 45th video. As you can tell by looking at the pictures, you can tell which video it's on. This is like one day. This is no more. Excuse me. Now look at this. Barbie video. Free guy. They want me to think I'm a free guy if I become a Barbie. I know it sounds crazy in that I'm Medea. Like, they always try and insinuate I'm a black girl or a trans girl, or, like, you know, transgender or something, and that, they're my parents or different versions of me. Rocket Man. Now, what's the common themes between all of these signs that are evidence I collected, these commonalities? What would they be? Something about they want me to be gay or trans, a girl, and a dog. So let's look. And I always talk about Bob, like the name Bob means something to me, and they put also on the same day the SpongeBob movie different. Now look at these other movies are for the most part they're all rearranged properly. It gets a million times crazier than this if you keep watching. There's strange clothing. I mean, I don't know, I think that's a weird arrangement, but either way, it's so weird how the person has left the store. And now, on this day, look at all these cards are arranged normally. This is what I mean how in these stores it's arranged differently. It's reorganized, it's misplaced. Someone placed that like that for me to notice it. Now that guy, he waited till I walked right next to him and just started groping her. He started like hugging her, kissing her, and he pulled her tighter to him. Because they want to make me feel molested and tortured and all of that. Girls with red hair everywhere. Girls with red hair. And I might have filmed the same person, like, a little bit, but if you went through every single person, I didn't film the same person more than once or twice. Oh, I would say once. Now, again, dog. In the color orange they know I like, so they put Frosty Paws near the ice cream when they knew I'd be buying ice cream, meaning they can hear my internal monologue. And they put everything there. Carts. Now, This is when I was talking about Revelations, and they were getting scared of me, and they always like to make me feel how they feel. And they felt like they were like food of mine, because Revelations get pretty scary if you're a sinner or a liar or a bad person. And all of a sudden it says, I wish you were pizza, and then look, right when I walk by him, that's not much different. Look, watch this. 1 second, like, oops. And then her, only a couple seconds later, sitting the same way. Wait, same way. This is how they stand. They like to stand like this, and with their hands in the back, like a V. V in the front, V in the back. That's exactly how they stand. Like, you know how Bloods and Crips, they color red, they color blue? They like to stand differently. They like to place things around the store. They like to wear one glove. They like to dye their hair red. They like to put subliminal messages and everything. And then that guy, this is only a couple seconds later. And believe it or not, I can't help but to like not understand. They don't understand. They are literally not understanding how this will get them caught. There must be some conspiracy theorists out there that will notice this. That's why it's almost, I can't help it but to like, they want me to be a little girl and a dog, and they think that I'll believe that they're other versions of me. They think that I'll believe that they're God. They're insane. And this isn't a joke. I can't help but to laugh at them because, like, I'm Jesus Christ. I know they're smaller than me and weaker than me, and that all Christians and Jewish people and Muslims should be praising the sky that I can be more powerful than them. Hands behind his back, like I said, all near each other. And we are not. This guy, look at that. And they know I was buying a camera. That was a Canon camera. There's a little girl on it. He's pointing to that girl right there. And I could explain different stuff in the video. How it's like they're all trying to like psychologically send subliminal messages into everything all the time. And there's some crazy spooky stuff I did in that video if you watch it. Now, this is a day where I started saying, you guys want me to be like, what, like a gay person, a trans person, a little girl, dog? Like, this one I was like, I was noticing it more than ever. I always said it, at least since I've been investigating and reporting on them. But then all of a sudden this happened. And there was that dog in the driver's seat at Taco Bell. And then, look, there's a transgender person that's driving the car. And right when I was talking about a person that Hayden Lonsdale knew, that was named Jasmine, all of a sudden there's someone that looks kind of like her and sounds like her and is, again, trans, and there's a dog in the car, and they want to turn me into a gay trans person that's also into pup play and a dog. If you look at every single one of these misplaced items, the strange activities going on, and I just put it on the category of strange activities going on, demonic activities going on, it's always about me being a girl, or a gay person, or a trans person, or a dog, or all of the above at times. This isn't normal. This wasn't happening before. Now it is. And guys, like, that guy had 2 gloves on, but right when I timed out, right when I look around, he's taking off, so it's just 1 glove. All of a sudden I'm walking down the street, and I see 2 gloves in a Taco Bell thing. So they bought Taco Bell, and then had boxes of gloves, like they're putting gloves everywhere, like they want to intimidate me, and those aren't even the type of gloves I find. So I mean, that's still pretty crazy. Like they're trying to like make me confused. I don't really know exactly what they're doing with this one, but still, it matches the same, like the Zodiac killer. How is all these different murders and crimes? And they figured, what if it was just one person? Now, if you look at what the Illuminati is, they say they're a hive mind of reptilian, demonic aliens that are all interconnected and can read each other's brains and all work together. Like one body. They are like one person, but different bodies. And that's what links all these people. And who else besides the lizard, reptilian, Illuminati, devil people that are demonic would be hunting the person who says they're Jesus Christ? And again, more people with red hair. Now, this is when it gets big. Now, look at this. If you only knew. Look at this. He's literally touching near his penis, and this is one of the people that I knew was them anyways. All of a sudden, he starts wearing a wig. Now, I'm reporting on this a little late, where this was happening a little before I started filming, but still. This was after. This is when, just listen. They're even in the music industry targeting me. They've been targeting me for a lot longer than I've been filming. Now, does that person not look evil to you? I mean, she kind of has like an evil look to her. And if she's with him, who's trying to intimidate me into being a girl and a dog, that kind of looks like an evil look, right? And he kind of has like a dead, sociopathic look to him. Kind of like he's not really happy. He's kind of like almost scared, and they're evil and scared at the same time. Like that eye. If you look at her left eye, it looks different. Like evil. All with dogs, and they weren't doing this before. Like I said, they want to convince me I'm in a different world. Now look at that. Does that dog not look in pain? Does that dog look happy to you? Look at it. It looks like his head is crushing. He's moving all around. And they're trying to insinuate sex with like something that looks like a dildo. And like I said, this empty sociopathic stare. And there's a commercial on the other day that said, General Hayden. And it was a girl on a USAA commercial. They're targeting me all over. They are the Illuminati. They are the lizard reptilian people. That guy doesn't look happy to me. It looks like he's putting on a fake smile. Look at that. And the lyrics are, if you were my dog, I'd call you Penelope. Does that not look like a demon to you? Holding a dog that again looks sad and scared. And again, a wig. Sorry I keep saying it again, but I mean, it happens over and over and over and over. Who wouldn't notice this? I mean, maybe most humans wouldn't notice it. But I know they're targeting me for many reasons I'll get into later once I get you to believe me. All of a sudden, I start saying in the head, they want me to be a little girl and a dog, and I was going over it more than I ever have in my past. And again, this is only, this isn't even like a couple days into recording them. Marilyn Monroe, creativity, because I talk about a video called Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, where it says you have to think creatively. They wanted me to think I was the only human, like Adam, and there's a dog on it. A glove. Right near his penis. All these stuffed animals on a telephone pole. Someone happened to have died there, but it's still sketchy with everything else that's going on. All of a sudden, a bunch of stuffed animals and, like, girl dolls and stuff like that. You should have seen there was a homeless guy that had a literal doll that was, like, 2 feet tall. And he was just carrying it with him. People in baby carriages with dogs. People with dogs in their baby carriages. That's not as normal as you think, especially all of a sudden when I'm talking about all this. It starts happening right before my very own eyes. It's not normal. Gloves everywhere. Oh, more gloves in those 2 pictures. A bunch of license plates that say, yeah. That right there with a 666, because they want me to sell my soul to be like a girl. And, crazy stuff like that. I'll keep watching. Stuffed animals everywhere. They want me to think that they're my dad, so it says Bon Bon next to Poppy, hoping I'll drink, like the baby thing. A girl with a glove, and a dog food in the back. Again, hands like that. Girls with red hair. Like, crazy stuff, right? Crazy license plates. I mean, some of them are good, like I told you. Pulling up their pants around me, grabbing their butts whenever they're around me, standing like that whenever they're around me, wearing kid shirts around me with cartoons on them. All this should be linking up at a rapid pace right now. Like that, grabbing her butt, creativity, Adam. A bunch of nurses' outfits started happening, like, say if it was like a 1 or 2 people out of however many, it started being like 3 or 4. And then over here, it says 007 with just like random vegetables, avocados. Because they know I talk about being 007, like I'm like 007, like I'm undercover, being a crime scene investigator and reporting on everything. And then it says cuddly cuties, 2 of them. Like I said, the number 2. They know I notice the number 2 more. Bananas differently. Bending over right when I walk by. Like she wasn't doing that before. Then I walk by, all of a sudden she bends over basically. Touching her butt whenever I'm around. And then the Barbie was differently again. This is a different video if you look. And all the other movies are the same basically. Anastasia, because I was talking about House, all of a sudden they put this movie here, or at least they moved it so I'd notice it, and it's a girl with red hair on it, and they know I talk with the name Anastasia, because Anastasia and Sia mean resurrection and victory and wisdom. The one eye, the girl, the glove, carts everywhere. And once in a while the car is owned by someone, but for a while number 2, it was people that weren't even around, like they just left the store. Be Mine on Valentine's, and the Rice Krispies aren't there. They're not in that aisle, believe it or not. Here he had a shirt that said Jesus. So you want me to think Jesus is Satan, Satan is Jesus. All of a sudden, look here. Now, like I said, this is the same day, only 5 seconds apart, if you can see. Now watch this. This guy admits to being a spy and an alien infiltrator. Now look further. Now if you look at this conversation, I told you how they always try and copy what I talk about, and I talk about a bunch of stuff about the real me, because like the real me is God talking through this body, believe it or not. Now look at more people admitting that they're alien infiltrators. Watch this.
Huh? Oh yeah, I'm trying, but I haven't gone try too hard. Yeah.
Now look at all this conversation. Now that doesn't sound like a fake hiss to me. Now everything he's saying isn't real. He's saying it in a way that he can make it look like he's a troll or something. Look at this. Does that look normal to you? Now look at this. Frozen again, with orange hair, a girl, right near Valentine's Day. Over here. Frozen. Near a Valentine and some chapstick. Guy standing like that. Red hair. Sometimes it's normal. Now watch this. She was standing like that, and then a couple seconds later, look at this. Creepy, right? Because I was basically saying, them trying to say they're Jesus, it might as well be one of those people. Might as well be a literal criminal trying to say they're Jesus and trying to say they're different versions of me while dressed up like criminals or devils. And I've proved in other videos some of the magic I've done if you keep watching. Now, like I said, these people are not me. They want me to think I'm a dog, like weird subliminal messaging. Kids' shirts everywhere. Girls with red hair. Something to do with apples, they always do. Now all the movies were arranged properly except for Barbie and House. Right when I was talking about House, and I even have a cane. Because I was talking about House, and I was like, wow. And there's a bunch of reasons I like House. And now all of a sudden Barbie and House. NCS, NCIS, a bunch of license plates like that. And this is a lady, right when she's looking at me, if you watch the video, she literally says, I am that person, right when we're talking about Jesus. And she says, I am that person, and it says no right there. Isn't that crazy? Do you know what that means? Like the Matrix, Follow the White Rabbit, Neo. It's literally like a sign from God that to tell you people that and them that they're not me. That's not me, that's not Jesus, that's not God, that's not an angel, that's not anyone. Just a demon. She was getting mad at me for filming the license plates because she knew I was seeing, well, signs from God on there for everyone. JDB, job, NCS. This was a day where I said it's my job to say I'm Jesus Christ and report on all this, and all of a sudden I take a left and I see a license plate that says PYA right there. Like it was saying yes to me and no to the other lady. JDB, PYA, gloves everywhere, cool license plates, NCS. Now this was a day where you should have seen the guy was wearing a Jesus shirt the other day and selling flowers and stuff. He's over there. Hey. And something about it was like this cool bike that was on the ground, and there was another bike that was also blue, and it was like the same type. More gloves on the ground everywhere. An action figure right there next to a sign that says like me. They're probably trying to make me, which they were, trying to make me feel like a Barbie doll or an action figure. Girls' red hair everywhere. Strange stuff from the store. Bananas and beer. That's all she wanted. And if you see that video, he was like rubbing his stomach right when he was around me. There's a banana right there. One banana, that's all you want. And a bunch of jewelry next to bananas. Again, they always assume bananas. Now, I went over here and there was a glove next to the book that said Family for Beginners, which has a dog in it, and then another book that has a girl's red hair on it and a book with a dog on it. And those two books are right next to a glove. And as I told you with the gloves before, where they put gloves everywhere, and they put signs about being a girl and a dog and gay and trans everywhere and all this weird stuff, all of a sudden the next day or two later, all of a sudden I see this. Missing and Family for Beginners. Because they were trying to make me think I have to go back to someone named Rob Fleur and Bob in Boston. Believe it or not. You just have to keep bearing with me with this because it's going to get way crazier. More stuff around the store. Good vibes. You should have seen there was a picture where it was a dog and I think it said good vibes, and it was the only hearts in the whole section that weren't red. Was good vibes and a dog thing and one that was purple. And then a couple days later, they went back to normal. Gloves everywhere. Then they started wearing, once they stopped putting the gloves on the ground, I started noticing, they started having all their store clerks, wear all these weird glove stuff, where they would have, like, regular work gloves, and they weren't doing that before. I mean, not as much. Shoes in places, camping bags everywhere, like random trash there. Stuff noticeable, just for me to notice. And then all of a sudden they put hearts near the leashes. There was another video where there was a guy that had a belt in his hand, and the same guy that literally on video said something about baby Jesus, talked about being Jewish, and then talked about praying to Satan. And a couple days later, he had a belt off him, and went to a carriage, put the belt in there, and then went back to the carriage and took the belt away. Because they want me to feel like I'm their action figure and that I'm on their leash and their belt. And then they put 2 E.T. movies there so they would think that we're both E.T.s or something. And then, right when I said I'm going to be like Spider-Man, where they're going to accuse me of going on the store and doing this, I show it to someone, all of a sudden, this happens. There's just a Spider-Man outfit right there near the cords, like to simulate a leash or a belt. Kid stuff, red hair. more carts, baby stuff misplaced, random trash barrel in the middle of the place, red hair, touching her butt, doing weird stuff, and license plates that say Jinn everywhere. The Jinn Devils. They started putting all these stuffed animals everywhere. They weren't before, and then all of a sudden they started doing it. That's the guy with the belt. NSA, like the government, Jesus Christ, gloves everywhere. Started putting girls with red hair on the windows over there. Even online, they started doing it with like commercials and stuff, and even movies. And they wanted to insinuate I'm the one with that one. Like I kept seeing that guy. Gloves. They put all the sausage places. They wanted me to think of vagina. Stuffed animals everywhere. Girls with red hair, license plates. And then this one, they want me to think that old friends, and they want me to think I was House, like they were like House, and of course, again, the Barbie movie was misplaced. They always misplace the Barbie movie and the Anastasia movie because they want me to think I'm like a girl. And then, of course, on the same day, a couple seconds later, Clifford, because they want me to be a dog. And balls, penis, balls, like they want me, I swear to God, they're trying to insinuate sex to me everywhere I go. Girls' clothes here, oranges, you know what they call it, orange. Cactuses, and right now, look at this, a Jesus Calling book right here. It says Jesus Calling, and there's dog pads next to it. The House movie cassette with ladies' sunglasses there. Then again, gloves and a blanket near the cable cord, and on the same day, Spider-Man right nearby. You want me to think that they're my dad? And a unicorn? That was on the same day. Gloves randomly placed. License plates undercover job, because I'm saying it's my undercover job. It says JCB, like I'm Jesus Christ and I'm undercover and it's my job to do it. And that was at 7-Eleven. There's girls with hair everywhere. 666. Stuffed animals, girls with red hair. 2 seconds later. And then there was a girl walking by, like an older lady, and she had, it said like best mom ever on her, like in her cart, it was on some calendar or whatever. And then all of a sudden I see here it says 2 orange things. It says best on it, because they want me to think that was like my mom. Random stuff, girl standing like that. And then this, there's dog stuff everywhere. And that might be normal once in a while to see like dogs like that, but still took a picture anyways. That day I was walking around the store and they want me to think it's a bright idea to be like a kid for them. It's like, no, they're pedophiles. I'm not gonna be a kid for you. And then all of a sudden here, again, imagine if in your mind you're being hunted by people who want you to be a girl or a dog or a whatever, and all of a sudden you see like a baby. They want me to be a literal baby for them. And imagine if you saw this and you start seeing dogs in baby carriages. Like, I mean, I'm not saying seeing them. I mean, a person walking around with a baby carriage that has a dog in it. JC and JC. CSI, like crime scene investigation, like how I'm investigating them. NCS, like NCIS. JC. Keep Christ in Christmas. Dogs. And now, believe it or not, right when I started making my condensed footage series, or right before, I think it was a week or two before, I was talking about the little girl dog series, where they want me to be a little girl and a dog. I concluded from all these evidence, I am basically trying to think for you at this point. You just have to relax. Now, I can prove, and it's on video, this guy was talking about a female little chihuahua on the same day that the guy that worked at Burger King was talking about a male little dog. And then all of a sudden there was a guy on camera sitting over here when he was talking to his supposed girlfriend, and they talked about a torture business on camera, and they were talking about little girl dogs like a chihuahua. RP, like roleplay, right near my house, that's written somewhere else, like on this pavement. Dad, like I'm the father of humanity. And then Bob, because the name Bob means something to me. And then all of a sudden, they wanted me to see this pretty girl walk in to Panda Express, And all of a sudden, there was a guy right when I turned around that happened to quote unquote look like Jesus, and they wanted me to think that I can get a girl or be a girl, and then I would have to like pray to them or have him as my boyfriend. They're always trying to insinuate strange stuff. Now, right where I sleep, like where my house is, all of a sudden, this guy showed up and starts having a sign near my house, and he sells vape supplies. Now there's this. Does that look normal? It looks like a literal pedophile bike. Does that not scream pedophile to you? I mean, there's people that are into anime and stuff like that, but this guy kind of like, he didn't have his bike like that before. Then all of a sudden he did. That's creepy, right? Jesus died for you, right written outside his Burger King right now. And again, they started doing weird stuff where, if you notice, this is only a couple videos. If I was doing that many videos a day, then this is only a couple days later. I've only been filming. I was only filming these series for about a month, maybe less. About a month. And I bought 2 Snickers, and the next day I go to buy 2 more, and there's 2 right here. Like almost like they wanted me to feel I was buying it from them. Girls with red hair. And then I collected all the gloves. I think that's when they started getting scared that someone seeing all the gloves at once will make them realize that they're all pedophiles. Girls with red hair, stuffed animals, girls with red hair, same person. And I used to call Hayden my little bug. Believe it or not, I know it sounds crazy, but they want me to think that I'm like their bug, like their insect, and that I need to believe in them and pray to them. Now watch this. Books placed everywhere all over again. Right after I tried some sort of weird blackmail technique where I said, now I got you people, I got you on camera, I can prove it to everyone that you guys exist. Now you have to keep giving me this evidence. I knew they would stop giving me evidence, and then I can say, look, now that they know I'm filming, they don't do all this weird stuff in the store anymore. Then they got scared and started doing the filming again, and I got this on camera. There was even a guy live on camera that was putting a dog calendar in his basket, a girl calendar in his basket, tapped a Mickey Mouse book, and then put a Bob calendar on top to make me think that they were God, like a slant rhyme. And they want me to think me was her, as in I'm her when I'm not. And they put like all his books here, and this is a different Walmart, by the way. Then this was a day where all the books were rearranged strangely and differently, all to do with a girl with red hair. Rogue, like they put this differently, so I would see this, and put the rogue slightly differently, like dog's purpose was slightly differently. That one's a little bit more normal, but still, they wanted me to see it. They want me to see everything they're doing. Then they put this. And they put the Paw Patrol in the camping aisle. And I don't know how normal not that is. I don't think that's normal. And this is the same Walmart where they put a bunch of girls' clothing that says, proud to be a girl, in the guys' aisle where I was going to buy a shirt that day. And then a glove placed down here. I mean, I know it's up here where the gloves are, but they want to put it here. Like the whole insinuation with the whole action figure thing, the whole, every single thing that they're doing to me. Girl with red hair. They started insinuating this. How about that? Girl with red hair. Life is like a puzzle. They already put a dog book next to the Jesus book. I was going to buy chicken salad, and they put the chicken salad slightly differently. That guy's standing like that. Lipstick. Dog. And this is only the beginning of the signs. I have seen a lot more signs than this. Like, there was, I'll get into another time, but trust me, there's a lot more than this going on. And then they started copying me. Now, when I bought a bike, a new one, all of a sudden, I went to a different Burger King, and they knew I would be going there. And they kind of cornered me there and put 2 of the same bikes because they want me to think that they're other me's or that they're my dad. And I'm like their daughter or something. 777 because it's God's number, and I happen to stop there and I look over and it says 777 on that building. More gloves, more gloves, more gloves. Guy walked by just grabbing his crotch. And then right where I was going to look into the store and talk about the other time there was a Spider-Man outfit here, all of a sudden I found this girl with red hair. Now look at the links and the commonalities and all this. Look at the common themes. Look at this. Look at how all of the times there's something rearranged around the store. It always has something to do with me. Blessed girl in the guy aisle. And it's not just one shirt placed differently. It's this whole row. That was talking about being the avatar. Like I feel like the avatar or something. And all of a sudden they put this differently to make me think of the avatar and the peacekeeper. And they put this book there, the dog book in here. They put drinks here because I told you they always have this weird obsession with something about drinks and the number 2. It makes me notice when this guy was like staring right next to me, just like standing so close to me. That was when he wasn't even close. And then I told you they copied me. And right after I got a cane, all of a sudden I started seeing a bunch of people almost insinuate that they have a cane. And I even said I'm gonna make a prediction. They'll all just start wearing canes around me. But instead of having canes, they started having other stuff and canes too. And I noticed that they all went. Instead of like 1 out of 100 people with a cane, it started being like 2 or 3. I mean, that's completely insane. It doesn't happen in normal life. And girls will do stuff like this where they'll always have something near their vagina. So I think of like the other girl with the 6 chocolate milks or whatever it was. Like this girl just standing there with red hair trying to be noticeable because she's trying to make me sin. And then this thing near the building stuff because I said something about building something and they put something about children right near the building stuff. And then I was warning people about being Jesus and that the Illuminati was real, and all of a sudden they put this here. Right when I'm warning people, they put a bunch of hot dogs and bananas. And I said, "What do you mean?" I was talking about Jesus, as in me. And Sammy Davis said, "This is us." I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Have it your way." Right when I was at Burger King. And then this was before that happened. But I see a girl that Hayden Lonsdale used to hang out with, and she took his name, the body I'm in, that became Jesus Christ. And it's a girl that's about 12 years old that wants to identify as a man, and they're trying to say that's me and that she took my name, that I have to be like her one day in order to get, I don't know, for them to stop torturing me or something. This guy has like a frog hat on, Israel on the ground, Jesus loves you written on the ground, and it says Jinn right there. Girls' red hair just everywhere. A dog book and Jesus calling. Rogue. That was Nexus line that would insinuate that's who they are. I talk about koalas often, and they put that there, like the koala differently. And they want me to think that they're E.T. and I'm a girl. That was a different day. They want me to think that I'm just like a dog and I'm like their baby lizard person. Then this was a day where they had a bunch of signs where, like I said, I have so many more pictures to show you and so many more stuff that I can show you. This was a day where there was a kid that had a lizard dinosaur on his like lap or whatever, and then all of a sudden there was another guy with a lizard dinosaur right next to his penis, like walking around like that same way, like the V in front with the lizard dinosaur next to his penis, and then there was someone else doing the same exact thing, all in the same store, all in one day, like that. The kid holding a lizard dinosaur, and then I see a kid inside of like a dog thing, or even if that's a basket, that's what they were trying to insinuate. And then I see this laying around with kids with red hair inside of like this thing, like dolls. And then I'm near the Jesus candle aisle. There's dog diapers there. That's me. Not that guy. This guy. I even look like Jesus. Because I am Jesus. That guy standing right there just staring at that, basically. And this guy. All in like the same day. Different videos, same day. I always record different videos in the same day, so you know. And he's literally a lizard person that looks like an evil demonic dog. I mean, it's literally just a dog, but still. Look at that. Kid stuff everywhere. Guys standing like that. The guy that has like a lizard in his hand. It's like a dragon. Girls with she was trying to insinuate like a cane because I said they're gonna be wearing a cane. They can't help but to copy me. They're actually addicted to it. They're addicted to copying me and doing anything like that because they think it psychologically traumatizes me, and they link copying me and hurting me and traumatizing me with winning. And they want to get me to not be Jesus anymore. They want me to give up on getting evidence on them. They're trying to do so many things. Like I've explained more in depth later, but I gotta be as quick on video as possible. Glove stuff, girl stuff, and cable cords, guys pulling their pants around me. Jesus calling the dog book again. All these books rearranged all the time. The troll doll. These books all rearranged. The baby sword and the dog thing I talked about earlier. They want me to think I'm like a dog and their baby lizard person. They want me to think I'm going into the bucket like hell. They want me to think that like now they started getting scared of me, believe it or not. And I even said stuff like the Hunger Games are real, and they're scared that they'll be in some sort of cataclysmic event. And they're scared crapless of me. And then they went from thinking I'm like a baby to like this guy because of how I got them to give me all this evidence. And this is when they stopped giving me all the evidence. Now they feel like I'm that guy. And hopefully they'll give me more evidence. But either way, the number 2 again. Girls doing weird stuff like that with a guy that they're trying to insinuate is Jesus. Stuffed animals left around. Girls with red hair. I stand like that. They always do that stuff around me. I saw another guy a day later that had something similar where he had like sweatpants over him. And that's not normal. I mean, it might be normal once in a while, but they all of a sudden started doing it, like I told you. And they want me to think that I need a mom. Crazy. Start seeing the canes everywhere. And then one day I was telling I'm gonna treat this like I'm running for president and stuff like that and take it seriously and make it like my job, like I told you. And all of a sudden I see it says new and then Deadpool with a unicorn. And they start telling, oh, she's like the supervisor, and they start telling the president, and they're trying to insinuate me. Believe it or not, these are people that work at 7-Eleven. This was in Norwood, where it says wake up, pursue happiness, slaughter house. They're trying to scare me. Gloves. That guy had 2 gloves on, yeah. And then I see this guy today. And like I said, I have many more videos and many more pictures than even this. But this is enough to make you believe that you're brain dead. Then you must be one of them, or brain dead, or just blindly ignorant and you don't care. I would argue that you are the schizophrenic. And the troll doll, like I said, the troll doll picture, and all of a sudden they put this here. They want me to think that they're Jesus. They has like a bow tie, like a predominantly female. And I said they want me to think I'm like Baby Yoda or something. And there's this. All of a sudden he's wearing a troll doll and Baby Yoda. And they want me to think that they're Jesus and he has a cross. They always try and insinuate stuff like Rick and Morty to me. Guy wearing gloves. Like I said, I have a bunch of pictures, and then they're trying to insinuate to drink to me, believe it or not. And that'll make me kinder. They're like, oh, you'll feel happy. Like, they always try and talk to me in weird subliminal ways, and they hope I'll sound schizophrenic. So, I don't know what'll make people believe. Because I might have to shorten this video just so it's quicker. And I can make it double the speed, and it'll be like, I don't know, 45 minutes long, maybe 35. So, I'm gonna make another video and hope that someone will want to watch it and see who could actually think that this is proof, because this really, really, really is proof. Or maybe, hold on. This guy's standing like that. Now look at this. I told you they always stand like this, or on the front, or they try and stand with their penis or vagina or their butt. Anyways, and that guy doing that, he has an action figure in his hand. That guy walking in like that, does that not look suspicious? Try walking like that. I'm sorry, I can't help but to laugh, but try walking like that. Tell me you wouldn't feel stupid, or weird, or awkward, or something. Tell me you wouldn't feel strange walking into Burger King, looking down, and having your hands like that. And that other guy walks over and starts trashing his butt. Now look at this video. Like I show you, I have so much more videos to show you guys. Now this guy, I mean, someone put well, it's one of them, but someone put this, and it says good, and there's a bunch of plantains. And now, I told you, they want me to think I'm like a girl, and a dog, and all this crazy, crazy stuff. So they have a little girl here, getting handed a rose from Burger King, right when I'm all thinking about this stuff. Then she puts on the Burger King hat. That's not normal if you mix it with everything else that's going on. And look at this, good vibes, and there's a dog there. Doesn't it creep anyone else out? Would this not creep you out if you saw this stuff? Now what if you mix it into the fact that before this ever happened, there's I can't even describe it. I don't want someone to lose faith in me. I mean, this has been happening only like 1% of the time, and now it's like all the time, all day. Then it went down, went back up, and then now it's back down again. So, like I said, I have to condense this video too, but all I ask is that you like and share, and I don't know, warn everybody. You have to warn every single person you know. Every single person you know, you have to warn.